Welcome back. In this section, we're going to go over the field of interpretability, reviewing what we think so far about interpretability in the context of machine learning and the state-of-the-art interpretability models. We'll start by reviewing the concept of interpretability in the context of machine learning. Next, we'll discuss why interpretability matters. We'll move on to interpretability methods, where I will introduce the different categories of interpretability methods that are available today and their main characteristics. I will then discuss global and local interpretability, mentioning the methods that belong to each group. And finally, I will talk about the current challenges to interpreting machine learning models and how we can try and make the machine learning models more interpretable. So let's get started. Let's begin by defining interpretability. Interpret means to explain or to present in understandable terms. In the context of machine learning, interpretability refers to the ability to express in understandable terms what the model has learned and the reasons that affect their output. So to illustrate this with some examples, if we have a loan model and the customer is rejected a loan, and we can interpret the outputs of our machine learning model, then we are able to tell the customer why the loan was rejected. For example, because he has a big debt or because he has failed to pay his debt commitments in the last period. If we are an insurance and we have a model that provides premiums for car insurance, and we can interpret the output of these models, then we know why the premium was returned. Say a customer got a high premium, we can tell them that that's because they have a very expensive car, it is imported, and the auto parts are not available in the country in case we needed to repair it. And if we're using a machine learning model in medicine and the model helps us diagnose a patient with a certain disease, if we can interpret the model, then we can tell the patient why we think he has this disease, like what are the characteristics that our model saw that drove the model to that conclusion. Now, we commonly talk about machine learning models as tools to automate or optimize decision-making. But machine learning models offer much more than that. Machine learning models produce knowledge about domain relationships. And these knowledge are what we call interpretations. So then we can use these interpretations, the interpretations that the model learned about some data and the relationships in that data, to learn more about the domain in which this model was trained. So machine learning interpretability provides knowledge. And we can use machine learning models, in this case, to learn, for example, the characteristics of fraudulent motor claims applications. We can learn the main drivers of house prices, if we were building models to predict house price. And we can learn the characteristics of malignant tumors in an image, if we were training models to predict malignancy based on images of some sort. And also, by understanding the model's output, we can know if the model is discriminating or being unfair, and at the same time we can learn if the reasons that drive the output of this model make sense. For example, we can corroborate that our model is not rejecting a loan to a customer based on the neighborhood that he or she lives in, or certain ethnicity. That would not be fair, and it is discriminating. And we can assess that, for example, our model is rejecting a loan because a customer has incurred in certain debt or unpaid recent debt. That would be a financial valid reason to reject a loan. So as I said, understanding the outputs of machine learning models produce knowledge. And this knowledge has applications in different fields and industries like medicine, policy, science, among other industries like finance and insurance that are the ones that I've worked in. And also, we can use, and we should use, this knowledge to audit the model itself to ensure that the model is treating customer fairly and that it follows the regulations for a certain industry. So you probably heard about the term interpretable machine learning. So what is it? Interpretable machine learning refers to the use of machine learning models to extract knowledge from the relationships in the data. And an interpretable machine learning model obeys a domain-specific set of rules that allows the model and its predictions to be easily understood by us people. And we're going to go over interpretable machine learning models in a later video. In the next one, I want to talk about why interpretability matters and what can happen when we put models in production before scrutinizing them enough. So that will be all for this video, and I will see you in the next one.